Alright, I am back, and I'm trying this for a third time. So, here's why I say third time. So, the first time I tried, my computer decided to freeze and then crash. The second time I tried, I forgot to hit record. So, I went through like 2 hours of gameplay without recording any of it. So, now we're going to try again. Only this time I know I'm recording because I can see it right there. Okay. So I'm going to need to load it up, and then I'm going to need to backtrack a shit ton, because oh my fucking god. Hello, you gotta backtrack? God damn it. Okay, so that's not going to happen. So... I'm going to have to start the game over again. Only thing is, I'm just going to skip to where we last left off. I'm going to try to keep everything that I chose the same, if I can remember it. If I'm correct, I did capital J. There we go. So anyways, as we're doing this, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. I could really use it right now. And don't forget that if you don't like my content, you can always just unsubscribe. So, subscribing really isn't that big of an issue. This is actually taking a fair while. But yeah, some of you might be wondering, but this thing right here is a voice changer. So, oh, we're getting close. Okay. I believe I chose Infinity last time. I think I'm going to do a run to where I do ending A, and then I'll do a second run where I do ending B. Oh, wait, hang on. Okay. We're back to where we were. Thankfully. That only took like 4 minutes. But Who cares? We got back to it. Shit. I forgot what settings I had for the voices. I remember what I had set for Cassius and Amicus. What did I have set for Kato? I don't know. I'm sure I'll remember at some point. I open my eyes and see a red, velvety surface in front of me. Then I turn over and see an unfamiliar ceiling with a gold square pattern above me. Oh yeah. I look over toward the bed where I expect to see Amicus, but it's empty. I stare again at the ceiling for a while, letting the sudden realization that I'm still here wash over me. I go over everything that happened yesterday, the last shred of hope that I'd been dreaming fading from my mind. I look over at Amicus's bed again, wondering if he'd gone into the bathroom. I listen for a while, but I don't hear anything coming from the door across from the bed. There's a muffled sound of what I assume are birds chirping coming from behind the curtain. Slowly, I slide off the sofa, feeling the cold marble against my bare feet as I do. I shiver and decide to bring a blanket with me, wrapping it around my shoulders. I shuffle around the sofa and move to the side of the large curtain to pull it back just slightly. So, right here is where the game crashed the first time. I have no idea why. It just randomly decided to just fucking crash. The air that comes through is fresh and immediately reminds me of camping by a lake during summer camp. That would make sense, because ahead of me is what looks like a massive body of water that seems to come right up to the edge of the balcony. It's warm, but not nearly as humid as it was last night. Pink and orange light paints the clouds on the horizon. For a moment, I take in the sight. The hills and mountains to either side of the lake are covered in lush green trees. So is the little island a ways out to my left. In the distance on the other side of the lake is what looks like a city of some kind. It's hard to tell how big it is since it's a good ways away, but from what I can tell, the buildings are massive. The smaller structures that taper off to the side seem to stretch far off behind them. Dim lights from the windows glitter in the distance, and I wonder if that city is full of wolves like Amicus and Cassius. Despite my situation, I kinda want to go see it. As I watch, I see a small dark oval shape descend down towards the city, blinking blue and red lights. I have to smile, shake my head a little. I still want to go back to Earth, but this is undeniably amazing. I let the curtains slide shut finally and turn back into the room. So where did that big wolf go to? He could have at least told me before he ran off. Good morning, Jason. I jump as the computer voice crackles overhead. I clutch my chest, breathing hard as the voice continues. Amicus has left a message for you. There's a pause, then. Hang on, let me get the Amicus voice. Come on.
Hey, Jason. I'm going to my morning meditation. It's in a room just down the hall. I'll be back in approximately an hour. Why don't you take the time to get familiar with the room?
There's a pause, then.
Are you still recording, Calm?
Yes. To end recording, say end of message.
Oh, see you soon, Jason. End message. Is it still...
To end recording, say end of message.
My gods, end of message.
I hear Amicus starting to curse again before the message cuts off. I look around the room a bit, noticing how little there is to get familiar with. I could look through the dresser, but I assume that's mostly filled with Amicus's things, and I doubt he wants me to get familiar with those. I move across the room towards the bathroom door, standing in front of it for a moment, before studying the black panel in the middle of it. It's similar to what Amicus used to open the door in the hallway. I reach out to try and push it, but the moment my fingers brush against the surface, the door slides to the side so fast that I jump. The lights inside come on slowly, illuminating the interior. I poke my head inside, then quickly step in, imagining the sliding door suddenly closing and chopping off my head. It stays open until I'm halfway in the room, then it closes automatically. There's a large sink to my left and an even larger mirror above it. In the corner, there's a marble-looking bench with a hole that I can only assume is a toilet. Finally, across from that, is a large bath and what I imagine to be a shower. I actually really need to pee, so I head over to the bench and do my business down the hole, hoping that it's not something like a laundry chute and I'm pissing on the servants below. As soon as I start, though, water begins to pour down the sides of the tube, leaving me pretty sure that it is indeed a toilet. I guess I should be more confident in assuming things about this place. Everything is fairly similar to what I had on Earth. I walk over to the sink and push at the faucet. Then I stick my hands under it and water starts pouring out. I am tempted to take a drink, but then I notice the water is bubbly and soapy looking. Having nothing left to do in the bathroom, I turn back to the door and find the black square again. I reach for it, and just like before, the door slides open. Hang on, I need Cassius now.
Yeah, I'm only
keeping Cassius's voice a little higher than Amicus's, because I could not find a good voice for him with this voice changer.
So, I'm keeping it like right here, while Amicus's is all the way down there. If he thinks he's going to get away with it...
Cassius is facing away from me, his arms folded as his bushy white tail swishes from side to side. I freeze up, staring at him wide-eyed. I have plenty of time to jump to the side, maybe hide in the shower area, but I just stand there like an idiot as the wolf turns around, almost in slow motion. He freezes just like I did when he spots me standing there in the doorway. We stare at each other for a moment. For a very long moment. Then he screeches, making me jump back in shock. Hang on.
Oh shit, what did I do? Don't you dare open up anything. Hang on, let me close out Firefox. You are trying to open shit! Oh gods! Oedipal! What is it?
The wolf dodges back and forth as if expecting me to try and run at him.
Oh, where did I just... I think I had it like right here. Kato! Kato! Help! Come quick!
Finally, Cassius's little dance of terror ends with him sprinting to my left and out the room. I stand there for a moment, listening to his screams fade down the echoing hallway, while wondering if I should hide or something, maybe go back into the bathroom and try to lock it. Instead, I hear more thudding, someone running up the hallway from the other end. Then Amicus comes running into the room, sliding to a stop in the middle of it. He spins in a circle that spots me and runs up to me. Hello.
What happened?
Cassius came in and saw me.
You let him see you?
What? No, he just came in. Where were you?
Meditating. I left a message. Where did he go?
Cassius? He just ran off.
Damn it.
Amicus stands there, his tail thrashing back and forth. I glare at him. If you hadn't just left me here, this wouldn't have happened.
Cassius shouldn't have even come in here.
Amicus turns away and starts pacing back and forth. What are you doing?
Shh, I'm thinking.
I bristle a little at being shushed, but I stay quiet, watching the wolves stalk back and forth. Then I hear voices again. Cassius, along with another deeper voice. Amicus turns to me.
Just be quiet for a moment as I try to explain things. Understand?
I glare at Amicus. His ears flatten and his expression becomes a bit more desperate.
Please?
I still don't say anything, but I just give him a curt nod. Wait, did I miss something? No, okay. Amicus reaches out toward my shoulder, then pauses and instead offers me his paw. I take it, and gently he pulls me from the bathroom and stand next to him in the middle of the room, facing the open doorway to the hall. Amicus fixes a confident smile on his face, though I can feel how tense he is next to me. From around the corner comes Cassius, but he's hiding behind someone else. Another wolf. They both stop in the doorway as the larger wolf takes in both Amicus and I.
Amicus, what are you doing with it? Step away!
Amicus gently places his paw around my shoulder, drawing me in against his bulk. Cassius' eyes widen at that, though the wolf next to him seems to have no reaction. Then again, that could just be because I can't see his eyes.
What are you doing, Amicus?
Amicus clears his throat.
Cassius? Cato?
He nods to each of them in turn.
This is my pet, Jason.
Cassius' mouth falls open. The other wolf, Cato, seems to shift a bit at that. Silence strikes out, then Cato shifts again.
Okay, if I remember correctly, I had Cato's voice around the same as Cassius's, only I think I had him on -4. So let's try this. Is this where you were for the past 2 days, Amicus?
Amicus's arms tighten a bit around my shoulder, drawing me in closer.
Yes. And that's where you took your father's ship?
Slight pause.
Yes.
Cassius gasps.
He can't do that!
He glances at Kato.
Can he?
The bigger wolf is quiet, and even though I can't see his eyes, I get the feeling that he's watching me closely. Cassius turns his glare back on Amicus.
Where did it come from?
Amicus rubs my arm.
He came from far away. Is he a child? Yes. What? He can't just take someone else's child. Can he?
Again, Cassius looks at Kato. And once again, Kato is quiet. Then he finally sighs.
We will discuss this over breakfast, Amicus. Get dressed and bring the creature with you, as long as he is safe. Of course. Then we will continue the conversation there.
With that, Kato turns on his heel and walks out of the room, leaving Cassius to look after him with a gaping mouth. He turns back on us, snarling.
I don't know what you're planning with that thing, Amicus, but if I know you, it's going to be incredibly stupid.
He takes another second to look at me with unmistakable disgust.
You could have at least obtained one that isn't quite so ugly, you know. safe, Cassius. And don't think about snooping around in my room again. Understood?
Cassius doesn't respond and simply walks away, looking over his shoulder before he leaves us.
And expect to receive punishment from Cato for stealing Father's ship. Absolutely outrageous.
I watch Cassius's tail swish out of sight behind the doorway. Amicus lets out a huge sigh, and I feel his chest deflate against my shoulder.
Damn it!
I sigh as well. You really didn't think all of this through, did you? I slowly move out from under the wolf's heavy arm.
Like I said, I made many mistakes. I'm just tired of lying now.
You still told them I'm a child. Amicus brings a paw abruptly to his mouth, touching the pads of his fingers to his lips. That may not be a shushing gesture, but I'm familiar with, but I know what it means. Amicus listens, his ears straight up, his eyes looking up at the ceiling. Finally, he looks back to me, whispering,
That is something I can never tell the truth about, and it would be best if you never mentioned it again. Please.
His suddenly serious demeanor cools my mood a little, so I just sigh again and sit on the edge of his bed. Amicus stands there awkwardly for a moment, then quickly moves over to open the door, placing a paw to the square to close it. He moves back over to me with his voice still lowered.
Well, if we're going to pass you off as a pet, then I should probably get you familiar with your duties.
My duties? I raise an eyebrow at Amicus. Amicus sighs.
I understand your frustration, but we need to do this right if we want things to go as smoothly as possible. You don't have to do anything, but it will help you blend in better.
I roll my eyes and lean back on my hands, looking up at Amicus. Yeah, I can't lean back. This back part is like covered in fucking sand. So you can thank Florida for that shit. Alright, what do I do?
Well, first of all, I take my shower, and you help me wash.
Help you wash?
Yes, you would soap my fur and such.
We stare at each other for another moment.
It's something that the others wouldn't see, so I suppose it's not necessary, unless you want to.
No.
Well, alright then, never mind on that one.
Amicus is clearly offended. Listen, I'm not going to soap up your naked body.
Yeah, you made that clear.
Oh, we're still doing Amicus.
Okay. Anyway, I'd honestly rather skip the shower today, but spending all of that time in the ship has left me rather unkempt.
Amicus turns to the bathroom and opens the door.
You should at least come into the bathroom while I shower, in case Cassius decides to barge in again. You can stare at the wall or something.
Amicus stalks into the bathroom, and I have to smile as I follow him in, the door closing quietly behind me. Amicus notices me smirking.
What?
I shrug. Nothing. It's just kind of funny that you got so huffy.
I don't know what that means.
Amicus is adjusting his underwear, then it suddenly drops, and I quickly look away.
I suppose your people prefer modesty.
Out of the corner of my eye, I can tell that Amicus has on a smirk of his own. Around others, at least. And you guys don't just walk around naked, so don't you prefer modesty too?
It all depends on the time and the place.
Amicus moves into the shower, and for the next 10 minutes or so, I sit on the counter while the room fills with steam. Once the water shuts off, a loud fan starts up, and I glance over to see Amicus with his arms folded out, his fur blowing back and forth. He notices me look over, then look away again.
You know,
He almost has to shout over the fan.
you could have cleaned up too if you showered with me, but you won't have time with breakfast coming up. You'll have to do it after.
I shrug and wait as Amicus steps out and grabs clean undergarments hanging from a hook, which he spends the next 10 minutes trying on.
Alright, balls are gone. You can look now. Actually, do you even have those? I don't want to assume.
I open the door and head back out. Guess you'll never know.
Oh, I have a terrible fake laugh.
Amicus spends another 10 minutes in the bathroom opening a door under the sink and riffling around in it. I think I'm gonna be done after we get past this scene.
The next thing you're supposed to do is get the brush and oils from here.
He lifts up a brush with a few glass bottles with colorful liquids inside before coming over to stand in front of me. He sighs.
I know you don't want to, and I realize now that I'm repulsive to you, but I can't really reach every part of my coat, and it would be strange if I called for a drone when I have a pet.
I think about making another snooty remark, but the expression on his face makes me pause. I suppose I'm being a little bratty right now. Besides, what else am I going to do while I'm here? Sit on the sofa all day? I get up and take the brush from Amicus, and I see a surprised smile on his face.
Thank you, Jason. He shows me how to apply one of the liquids, a honey-colored one, to the brush. I just had to change my position for a bit. My leg was starting to go numb. It's a treat. Oh, wait, I don't have voice. Oh, wait, I do. Oh, shit, I've been talking with that fucking voice thing on. That was an oops. this. Okay, just for that one line. Okay,
Well, I can fix that. I can fix that. Pay no attention to that. Pretend that didn't happen. He shows me how to apply one of the liquids, a honey-colored one, to the brush.
it's a treatment for my fur. It keeps it soft and voluminous looking. Here, you just take the brush and run it with the lay of my fur.
He hands the brush to me and then stands facing away. I start slowly and run the brush through the fur between his ears and down his broad back, watching as the slightly disheveled hairs line up and lay down smoothly. It accentuates his shoulder blades and the thick and smooth muscles on his back. I'm hesitant at first, but I become more confident with each stroke. Actually, it's kind of relaxing. That is, until I brush down the left side of his neck, which makes him gasp. I pull back quickly. Sorry, did I brush too hard? Amicus chuckles.
No, that's just where you hit me earlier.
Oh. I look closer and see that there is what looks like a lump under the fur. I carefully brush around it and move to Amicus's front. Amicus, meanwhile, has his eyes locked with a smile on... not locked, closed, with a smile on his face, clearly enjoying himself. I don't have it on, do I? No. Okay. I am sorry about that, by the way. I was really scared when I did it.
Don't worry about it. I deserved it for tying you up so poorly.
Amicus gives me a wink. I feel my face grow a little hot as I focus on getting the fur to lay just right on his biceps. And you know, you're not repulsive to me at all. I was just being a dick earlier. You look good.
Well, I suppose I was too. I shouldn't have made fun of your sensibilities. All aliens have their own cultures which are different, but that doesn't mean less valuable.
Amicus's tone sounds weirdly rehearsed, and like he's quoting something.
And also, thank you, Jason. Oh, I said that as I was turning it. And also, thank you, Jason. I think you look good too.
He might just be returning the compliment, but it's nice to hear after what Cassius said. But I definitely wasn't lying, and now that I'm this close to him, I have to admit that he is a little handsome. His face is expressive and kind of charming, and there's just a generally friendly air about him. And, well, there's his body. It's thick and masculine, just like a burly man. And I really can't deny that it's kind of appealing. Kind of. I start to brush down the wolf's front, feeling his chest and stomach rise against the brush with his breathing. I sculpt the lighter fur around his pecs to accentuate them better, since it seems that's how he was keeping it earlier. Can't blame him. Then I move to his belly, brushing over the thick and slightly rounded form. The muscles are less defined here, but I can still sense the strength underneath it all. As I brush the lower part of his midsection, I notice the crotch of his loincloth bulging out rather far.
Alright, thank you, Jason. That should be good.
He takes the brush from my hands and turns away, leaving me with the strong suspicion that he's adjusting himself, though he covers it up by pretending to mess with the other bottle. Finally, he turns around looking flushed.
Hold out your paws, please.
stick out my hands and he tips the bottle over, the liquid in this one having a purplish tint to it. Several drops fall into my hand. Immediately, my nose is filled with that lavender scent that I've been smelling off of Amicus since I first met him.
Rub them together and then just sort of pat up my body and underarms, along my neck as well.
I can tell Amicus is still flustered, but so I do it quickly, not wanting to linger and cause the wolf any other problems. Maybe it just feels really good to be brushed like that? Is this like perfume?
Yes, it keeps the muskier scents hidden for the most part.
I see.
Do you use perfume?
Well, I guess I do wear something like that on my underarms.
Well, feel free to use them then.
I decide not to tell him that lavender scents are mostly for women on Earth. Besides, it does smell nice. Just a side note, I absolutely hate the scent of lavender. I don't know why. It just smells terrible to me. Like, I absolutely cannot stand it. Like, I cannot be anywhere near something that smells like lavender without, like, either entering into, like, a sneezing fit or just, like, coughing. Like, it just smells so terrible to me. Once the perfume is done, Amicus moves on to getting dressed, showing me how to drape his cape over his shoulders.
Alright, so I know you only have the pair of clothes you came with, so I'll have a tailor drone come up later today to see if we can't make you more pairs of what you have. Also, whatever happened
to that? Like, I've already played through this. Like, not this version specifically. But I have played through the game before. Whatever happened to Marco getting new clothes made for him? Like, did they just forget about that? I think they must have. Oh, okay. Now, let's head to the dining room before we're late. Oh, wait, shit. I forgot to put on the voice changer.
Now, let's head to the dining room before we're late.
Amicus pauses, frowning.
Now, I know you won't like it, but you're going to have to feign some ignorance in front of the others.
I raise an eyebrow. How so?
Well, you're going to need to act a bit dumb.
The antagonistic feelings that have been fading over the past few minutes start to rise up again. And how do I do that? Amicus shrugs.
I don't know. Give them vacant stares, incoherent mumbles, act like you can't grasp more complex matters. The whole point is to make it seem like you're a typical child.
I don't like it. but I don't want to have anything to do with those aliens, so if it'll make them leave me alone. Alright. And I guess that's out of breath, clearly relieved.
Thank you, Jason. This may not always have to be the case, but for now, we need to play it on the safe side of things. Just let me do all the talking.
You got it.
Great. Now let's hurry to the dining room. I don't want to make Kato even more angry than he already is. Alright. And with that done, that concludes this episode.
Shit. And with that done, that concludes this episode of Adastra. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you guys enjoyed the, the voice changer. If you did, please let me know in the comments. I don't want to keep using the voice changer if it's not something that you guys like. I know I like it because it makes it easier on my voice, because I can't really do the deep, growly voices that well, and this voice changer really helps me do those deep voices, and yeah, it's just generally more convenient that way. Like, I feel confident in doing, like, Alexios or Neferu, just not, Amicus, Cassius, and Cato. I'm not going to do any voice acting for Virginia, because I can't really do a feminine voice. So, there's also that. And yeah, I've been Jason the Ultimate Wizard. I hope you've had an ultimate day, and I will see you all next time. Till then, see ya.